Hey, my name is Ross Marquand, and I play Red Skull. You are listening to Panels to Pixels podcast. Check it out.
I missed you.
This was all you? Bringing me here?
Yes,
The Thraxians told me that they needed my help.
they do need your help.
Why?
It's complicated. Come with me and...
Now, why would you lie to me again? You killed thousands of people.
Yes,
Why would you think I'd ever want to see you again? You called Mom a pet.
Mark, I need your help.
I can't believe you put them up to this. Made them lie to me, too.
Just listen.
I don't have to listen to anything you say.
Mark, look,
Hey, panelists, welcome back to the show. I'm Mark.
And I'm Jayme.
And this is Panels to Pixels podcast. We are continuing our coverage, but with this episode, we're doing our final episode for the first half of Invincible Season 2. Obviously, with the mid-season finale, because they're going to come back with more later. Jayme?
Yeah, but they haven't given us a date yet.
They haven't given us a date, but obviously, I like to call it a mid-season finale for episode 4, which is entitled "It's Been a While." Now, anytime I hear that, I think of the Stained song.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm not going to sing it, but yeah, it's been a while. But this is the mid-season finale. We have no tentative date. This will be a spoiler-full podcast. So if you haven't listened to or watched the episode before, go back, watch the episode, Season 2, Episode 4, Invincible. It's been a while. Come back to us. If you like to be spoiled, hang around, stick around, be spoiled, and just watch the episode.
Whatever makes you happy.
Whatever makes you happy. I'm not one to sway people from not listening to us, but I like the idea that people who are interested in being spoiled and then watching the episode or show or movie, they go, yes. It's like, okay, that's what they were talking about. Now I can pay attention, or no, they got that wrong. Because I've been known to say things and get things wrong, but we do go into thorough detail when we actually do write our notes on occasion. So with that, we're going to move into it. And the synopsis, Jayme, for this episode?
Mark answers the call to save an alien species, but the mission has unexpected personal consequences.
Yep.
And I think we already figured out what those were from the last episode.
Yeah, at the very last episode, we already saw that because we already saw he was duped. And his father called him to another planet with the Thraxians. And what were your overall thoughts about this particular episode? Were there things that you liked? Were there things that you didn't like?
I really liked this episode. I thought they handled the absentee father really, really well.
Oh, yeah.
I thought they handled Debbie well. I thought they handled Adam Eve well. Sad.
It is sad.
I thought just the realness and the complexities of the emotions and everything. I thought that's what Kirkman nails.
Yeah, it's the relationships between people, the drama within, because obviously, Nathan abandoned everybody, and you could tell that from the very beginning of the episode.
Yeah,
because it literally takes off like we see previously on, and you see it's like, hey, Mark, it's been a while. And then literally they go right into the episode, and we see Nathan traveling on
Nolan.
Nolan. I keep saying Nathan. Why do I keep? Maybe when I look at him, I think Nathan Explosion from Metalopolis.
Just call him Omni Man. Go with that.
Omni Man. There you go. But my overall thoughts. I found this to be a fast-paced episode filled with a lot of answers and pretty much people realizing a lot of themselves. And that's including Mark, that's including Debbie at a certain point, as well as Eve, and apparently Mauler.
Yep.
Can't forget the Mauler. Not twins, because not really twins anymore. They don't
Well.
look like twinsies. By the end of the episode, they're no longer twins. But he can make as many doubles of himself as he wants to make himself a twin if he really wanted to.
Always been that way, though.
Yeah, he could dilute himself all he wants with his DNA. But yeah, it was like a lot of growing for a lot of these characters, or growing to something different that they didn't expect of themselves before. And I really did enjoy it. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with this later on.
Yeah.
But the main focus at this point within the episode was literally Omni-Man, Nolan, and what he was dealing with after he left Earth. So the first thing that we do see is literally right after it left off, but the way the episode takes off, not to make fun of it or put a pun in there, Nolan takes off after he beat the crap out of his own son on Earth and leaves him for dead, and flies into space and moves forward. And we get the song Avalanche by Nick Cave.
Oh my God, was that perfect?
It was
they
really
kill it with the music.
Yeah, they made it great with the music choices and song choices, and it just worked perfectly. I just love it. Was like a James Gunn kind of thing for the movies.
Yeah.
If you look at Guardians of the Galaxy and they pick out the perfect songs for like the movies themselves for the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and the way they're doing it, whoever was here, and it's more pop oriented too, by the way. It's more current pop based, which is really good. I think at one point we had Creep and stuff like that and in the show, but with this is a little bit more current. And I'm not a huge fan of Nick Cave, but I recognized the song and I remembered it. But I really did enjoy it for the fact that it shows Nolan going through the pain as he's flying through the galaxy, trying to find and make sort of sense of what he had done, what he left, and what he is doing now. And then when he sees this alien vessel that's in trouble, he saves it just because of habit. And he saves these people. And the ending lyric as he's doing that, because you could see at a certain point, he's waiting there in front of like some sort of sun before he saves the ship. Looks like he's ready to like throw himself into it and destroy himself. But he winds up saving the ship with the Thraxans on it. But the final lyric on it is really cool because it ends on the lyric line of "the crumbs I've left behind" within the song, meaning that it's like how he feels about his life before this. And then later on we do get the story of how he made a life with the Thraxans. Did you have anything about that more, or anything about the Thraxans themselves?
I felt like seeing the Thraxans go towards that, or that saving, like gave him a purpose. Like he was about to, I think, try and kill himself.
Yeah.
And then saving them gave him a purpose.
Yeah.
I don't think he realized how much he no longer fits his original purpose.
He gave up at a certain point. He didn't know where he fit in the galaxy. Yeah. Honestly, there's no one world, but I'm saying in the galaxy or the universe. He doesn't know because it's him. And he did something too, which is against his Viltrumite genetics. They are not there to save people. They are there literally to dominate, control, and destroy a planet, or destroy the planet and control the people on it. And
he no longer wants to do that.
He no longer wants to do that. But then, we're thrust upon the current status of him where Mark's right in front of him and Mark just unleashing on him with anger. You could
But
see
first hugging him.
the standoff before that. You're waiting for Mark to punch him.
And then he chooses to hug him.
And he chooses to hug him, saying he missed him. And I think even Nolan was just like, what in the blue blazes is going on?
Then the anger comes, which is
Then
totally
anger comes.
warranted and
Yeah.
totally fair.
And the multiple F-bombs that we get out of Mark throughout the episode, too, by the way. I'm like, holy poop. He's like cursing up a storm right in front of his dad. He don't care. Well, he's an adult now. He's in college.
And his dad did try to kill him.
That is true. Even
Cursing
stated.
in front of your dad is the last thing you're worried about at that point.
It's like, yeah, you busted most of my teeth out of my face anyway, Dad. So I could say whatever the frick I want. But with Mark coming at him too with all that anger, saying you can't tell if Nolan's lying to him.
Fair.
Yeah, and then brings out the fact that he called Mark's mother a pet and was this. We could see the sound in Mark's voice. You got to give it to one of our favorite actor voices in Stephen Yeun, and how he was able to convey that bitter taste in his mouth when you called my mother a pet.
Yeah.
And all because, it was all done very well in a sense of like hearing it, the conviction in each voice. And all that Nathan could say was, Nathan, I keep saying that, Nathan. I did this on Monarch too when I was covering with Ben. I was calling somebody Amber. Now I realize where Amber came from. It was from this show.
Yeah.
Too many shows, everybody, that we're all podcasting on. It's pretty funny. Now I'm waiting for somebody to say me saying Little Cricket too from Gen V, which we are still trying to finish, by the way. But literally the I'm sorry comes out of Nolan's mouth, and that's
which I never expected.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either. Mark really takes it badly after he finds out. It's like, wait, we find out a little later too that he sees his father kissing a Thrax, the little tongue, and then it's like, wait, there's a blue purplish baby there.
My notes are, he has a new wife, and then in all capital letters, and a kid! Exclamation point, question mark, and then just Jesus H. Christ.
Yeah, exactly, right? That's like, wow, he moved quick. Well, apparently Thraxans develop quickly.
Well, I mean, they're bugs. It makes sense. They have a shorter lifespan,
apparently, and even his new wife even mentions it later on when Mark tries, to save her from the Viltrumites that do show up, because that's literally what Nolan needed Mark there for, was to protect the Thraxans along with him, to protect his own brother, because they'll see him as some sort of anomaly. They're Viltrumites.
He's not allowed to procreate. It was okay with a human because they were similar species.
Correct.
But not, and the fact that it even worked. Like, the biologist in me is like. The biologist in me is like, too. It's like, wow, I see a lot of chafing going on. Well, not I didn't go into that. But it's just like. But also. When similar species procreate, sometimes they can get an offspring.
Correct.
Way different species don't get an offspring.
Mm-hmm.
But then most of different species, when they do create an offspring, it's usually sterile. So I'm wondering if Mark or that other baby are sterile.
So, well, you should really talk to Amber now. She doesn't have to wear a condom. I'm just joking. No. But that is true. Yeah. And you bring it up does make a lot of sense. Also, we don't know within the Thraxans if they are in any way with certain species of insects, certain animals on Earth, they are able to reproduce synonymously, like alone, but it's very rare.
Yeah, but that wasn't this case.
Yeah. But in this case, but I'm just saying for like Mark's half brother.
Yeah.
What's the possibility of
assuming
him being able to
he's
replicate?
still alive?
Yeah.
If we ever see them again.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we will. Because the last thing that we did see was literally just, well, the Thraxans were thrashed, as I should say, not to use those words, but the only person they took were Nolan, but they left Mark to do what Nolan was supposed to do on Earth. Am I correct in saying that, or am I wrong?
Okay. No, they left him, and that's fucked up.
This is spoiler full, but
no. It was it's just that was fucked up. Like, are you gonna, you can kill a few hundred to make them follow you, or we'll come in and kill millions.
Correct. So literally, they want to see progress on Mark's part of what he killed.
Well,
on Earth, after they left him. So that's literally how it ends up with. But the events that were in between were very riveting and very interesting too. Not to move away from the discussion of Mark and Nolan, but let's talk about the Mauler twins, or not so twinsies.
King Mauler and his subject.
Correct. Yeah, he's like King Mauler and his new subject, because he just made himself clone. Ha ha! I know who's the one that's in charge.
Yeah, I love how the one woke up. I was like, "Oh, you're the clone." Oh no! Like, that was such a change.
As soon as his face turned around, it's like, "Oh yeah, you're half skin on skull."
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's like, nope. But I have all your thoughts. And I have all your memories. But I look better. But but the funny thing is by the end of it, and we see at the very end, is that King Mauler gets his just dues, because the clone winds up killing him anyway at the end.
Yep. And we're back to where we were with the Mauler. Like that. Like, I thought it was really interesting that there would be a King Mauler and a lower one. Like, I'm like, oh, this is going to be interesting to see how it plays out. And like, I should have expected that it played out this quickly. Like,
I knew it. Well, the funny thing is I knew it was going to play out this way, in the sense that the way Mauler works and the Mauler quote unquote twins work is they work well when they don't know when the other is the original or not the original for when they were put down. So in this case, this twin,
like a Boondock Saints who was born first thing.
Yeah, well, I didn't even watch that, but I think of it's kind of a deterrence between the both of them, and they have to work together even though they're the same person. So it's that edge of like who's the original, who's not the original. So I'm not going to kill you because I don't know if you're the original or I'm the original, or if I'm going to survive if you're going to survive.
And they're always equal. They're on equal footing.
Exactly. Thinking wise, everything. And they already know what the other one's thinking. They're just bouncing off the information off each other. So I had a funny feeling. It's like, yeah, this ain't gonna last. And it didn't.
Didn't last long at all.
It didn't last long at all. It's like it didn't even last half an episode, because by the time we saw them it was halfway through. And I thought, I was like, okay, that was pretty cool. So we know where we stand with the Mauler people, I should say, because eventually
back to the twins again. Well, it will be.
Hopefully back to the twins, because we didn't see him make another one. But I'm assuming so. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Mauler army.
Well,
imagine if there were multiple Maulers.
Well, the way King Mauler was talking, he was talking like there were multiples of the clones.
Yes.
He made it. We didn't see it necessarily.
Correct.
But he did make it sound like there were multiple. He had created multiples.
He didn't create multiples, but he did get to see multiples when, what's his name? Armand or whoever it was, the original robot or the alternate version of robot that basically mutated himself and Mauler during that whole mishap, the last episode. If you remember.
Yeah.
So he had seen like the female Mauler. He saw a future Mauler, Mauler with hair, Mauler with a goatee. So there were other Maulers that were there from alternate universes. He could be referencing those as being other clones, but they don't have to be clones.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure.
But there could be some others incubating somewhere for all we know. And then they just have to wake him up. But, the clone's going to be like, well, I'm in charge of you. Why? Because I could be the first clone. They could have they would have to have a battle royale, unfortunately, to find out who's in charge. But and then nobody will realize who's in charge again. Me, no, me, no, me, no, me. But I thought that was pretty cool that we finally get a little bit more from the Mauler twins or the Maulers. I was looking forward to that because it's kind of a bit of a levity within the show, I think.
Yeah, they've taken a bit of the place where William had last season.
Yes.
William's much seen less and a little toned down. He seemed to be back to normal form this episode, but you only saw him for like 3 seconds.
Yeah, that is true. I got a few things too from William that I did enjoy. The next topic of choice I would bring up, unless you have one of a character.
No, I mean
Donald. Yeah. Can't remember who Donald is. He's the guy with the glasses.
Yeah, no, he's the guy with the glasses who is no longer human.
He's literally a clone. Which is interesting. Finding out what had happened to him before, the other versions of him, because there were multiple versions. And he doesn't take it so bravely. He finds the glasses in the rubble of the house for where Omni-Man was there, and then he realizes those are my glasses.
Yeah.
And he does further research. He looks into the logs of the company and finds all the videos.
I love how he had to backdoor his way in, though, because at first he wasn't allowed in the Grayson files.
Yeah, and he used Cecil's login in order to get in.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty cool because he knows. So I'm wondering if every version of him always knew in some way. So that's pretty cool.
He goes into the bathroom.
Oh, yes. But we also see Omni-Man when he blew up the house, and then how Donald wind up taking his own life for you, sir, and blowing up and detonating the bomb. And that's when, that was beforehand because he had to rewind it. And I thought it was pretty cool. It was, in my opinion, another cloning disaster, but in this case, it's more understandable. But when he stabs himself through the wrist.
Right. Like, couldn't there be a better way? If you're just checking to see, because it seemed like he was just checking to see if he was bleeding.
Correct.
If he was going to bleed like that, he wanted to check and see if he was still human or like a robot or something.
Mm-hmm.
There's less invasive ways to do that.
Yeah. Well, there might have been a reason.
Stab your wrist.
We didn't see him try to cut his wrist at first because if you look at the knife, it was bent at the tip.
Yes, which he didn't know. Like at first, when he started bleeding, he was like, "Okay."
So that shows
like
that
things
he's
are normal.
Somewhat invulnerable to a certain degree. So that must have been the reason for him with the ferocity and force to go through the wrist.
Or he was just trying to do it. Like, okay, I'm doing. I took it as I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Okay, I got to do it. I'm
and just does it.
Do it,
and it just goes right through. My question, though, after that is we didn't see him clean up or do anything. I'm wondering if that healed right away.
Yeah, I'm curious exactly what's in there that bent the knife.
Yes. Yeah. Viltrumite steel. I don't know. We don't know what Cecil, and that's a Cecil experiment right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I found that scene very interesting because it's only going to show us what we're going to get for the second half that's coming up after 2024 or in 2024. Next up, I would like to bring up college days with Amber, Eve, and William. They all just show up one day, and and even William says, and Amber says, like, "Oh, look, if you need somebody to talk to, we're here." Blah blah blah. Well, the treehouse is so far away to go to, but we're here for you. Meaning that because they were all on bad times. Amber kind of mentions that Mark kind of went away because Eve was looking for him initially, and she goes, "Yeah, well, he's off planet, literally."
Literally.
Yeah. And she goes, basically stating, quote unquote, perils of dating a superhero, right?
Yeah, everybody's cool with it but her, because she needs somebody who understands.
Yeah. Well,
and
Eve wouldn't understand. Yeah. And, I love how Amber goes, yeah, he's lucky he's cute. Yeah. And they tell her basically where Mark is. It's like he took off to save some bugs or some aliens out in space. And it's been a few weeks. So it's been like 3 weeks. So he's missed 3 weeks of college.
Yeah. I don't think he cares.
Well, his GPA is going to drop and he's going to get tossed out of college.
Yes.
He didn't make the last 3 or 4 tests that I gave out. Your GPA.
But I was saving a planet.
Yeah, that doesn't help us here. Cecil, can you get me some extra credit? Sure.
Like William's not showing up too much either. It's like
that is true. He's like a bad habit. He's like, we're adults. It's
like you're treating you like an adult.
And you start realizing it too. It's like that's the cuteness behind William that we all love.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Eve wanted somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
And didn't have it.
And then had to move on to her own superhero ways of doing things. So her encounter with Kill Cannon.
Yep.
And Kill Cannon was trying to steal something from Robot. It was a sphere. So I'm sure that's going to come back. It was some sort of orb that Kill Cannon and had it in his hand that apparently Robot cherished from the Guardians of the Globe. So how he found out where it was and how he got in is 2 different stories that we don't know. But the battle lasts for a while. And during the battle, an accident happens and innocent bystanders in the car perish to some degree, where it goes right into the water. Eve is not able to do that, but save them as quickly. So she dives in after dealing with Kill Cannon. And she's able to get the people out. It looks like she created herself her own little rebreather, gets them out of the water, gets up on the bridge. And I think this is her first feel of how human life is very, very precious, because she's asking and pleading for help from somebody else because she doesn't know CPR. She doesn't know all that.
She's known human life is precious. She's never had a problem with that.
Yeah.
She just, between the last few episodes, she's been trying to help, but only ends up making things worse.
Yeah.
And that's what she feels like she did here. She was trying to help and ends up killing 2 people.
Yeah. Well,
because of course that's what happens.
Dead, but yeah.
They seem
dead. Okay.
We'll go with dead, but
well, it's the responsibilities, like with great. I hate using the Spider-Man terms, but great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, and she's learned, but she's also got the guilt that her dad made her feel.
Well, he's a dick.
He's a dick, but just like Nolan, he's a dick, but it's still their parents. Like it's hard to just brush it off when you're in that.
Yeah, you have that stuck in your brain because somebody just infiltrates your brain all the time with it. But talking about bad parenting and bad parents,
but let's finish up with Eve. Like she ends up going home.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yeah, she goes back. We see her at the front door, and then her father opens up, and he's got that kind of, even from a distant shot in animation, you could tell the look of like, you're here.
Because he told her not to come back until she gives up all that superhero shit.
Yep, meaning that she's going to have to give it up. for a
she's
bit.
made the choice to give it up.
Yeah.
Because she feels like she's making things worse every time she tries. Like, that's heavy. Like, what? This was her identity. Like, and now she's giving it up, tail between her legs, back to this asshole of a father. Like,
I think that's not going to last.
but yeah, hopefully not. But right now, she,
It's probably not going to last in the sense that it's going to be through losing her father, maybe. Because once he's gone, she doesn't have anything to feel about that. And then
well,
just take
hopefully
care of her
when-
mother. I'm not saying
hopefully
I
when
want
Mark's
her father
back-
dead.
hopefully when Mark's back, she can have a conversation with somebody who kind of understands. And
Well,
but then
yeah.
again, Mark's got a lot of shit to talk about and work through.
Yeah, he's got a lot on his head right now. It's like, hold on, if I don't do Eve, can you help me kill 200 people at least?
Yeah,
the Viltrumites.
It's gonna be rough for everybody.
Or do I have to kill all the Guardians of the Globe like my dad? The new ones. I would not put it past the writers to be like, hey, let's get a battle between Mark and the Guardians of the Globe. See who lasts. And will he kill Immortus? Like his father? Again? But we don't know. That's something we'll have to wait for and see, because that's pretty much the cliffhanger of the episode of like what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I did, however, enjoy, even though it was brutal, the battle scenes with the Viltrumites when they do make it to the planet. It was granted, it was given at that moment when Nolan winds up asking Mark for his help to save that planet. And he has that consequence of fear even during the battle with the Viltrumites and Mark along with him, and with dealing with the Thraxans, of I'm doing exactly what I did for what I did on Earth. I'm feeling for these people. And it's like you could see it in his face and hear it in his voice of how he's struggling. It's like, I'm not supposed to do this. I'm a Viltrumite. I'm meant to take over. I'm meant to destroy. But here I am again. Like, but I'm like, instead of 20 some odd years, he learns it in 8 months?
Yeah.
Because he's been gone that long and he has a son already again. So it's like, oh, okay, well, at least he learned it a little quicker again, but it's still, history repeats itself. They're coming back for you. And now you're starting to see this. And now your son from your first marriage has to take care of the planet that you were once meant to take over. But the battle scenes within it were very splash paged looking.
It was awesome. It was like panel to panel to panel, the way they were bouncing back and
Correct.
forth between the two fights. It was a comic book set in motion. It
Correct.
was gorgeous.
Yeah, it was like, that's why we are panels to pixels. But I'm just saying, in this case, it's literally panel on a pixel that is moving every once in a while. And it's very much like you stated, the motion capture of comics like they had with Watchmen years ago when they did the motion things. Marvel had done it years later with I'm forgetting the name of the comic run, but it was Knights of something. But they it looked crazy because they couldn't do every action. It would seem that they did that for more dramatic effect, but it worked.
Yeah.
But then we got some really riveting scene with that female Viltrumite that was going after Mark with
Thula.
Yeah, she had
Dude,
the
her
long
hair.
ponytail with the knife on it.
The braid with the knife at the end.
The
That
braid on
was
it. Yes.
awesome.
And very well executed, but she was very determined, knew how to use her skills, knew how to go after Mark. It was done very well. But you could see he was still holding back and holding his punches. And then you could, throughout the battle, that's all that Nolan was telling Mark, is that he has to fight. He's killing you. Can't you see that? It's either you kill him or you're getting killed. And literally he was putting it out there to Mark. And then that's what happened at that point. Mark doesn't hold punches back after a while with her. You can see he's beating the crap out of her.
Yeah. He makes a decision.
He makes that decision. And by then it was a little bit too late because she already had the upper hand and Mark's been beaten up a little bit. Nathan,
But I mean, he was close.
yeah, and Nathan was holding his own too. Nolan, Nathan, Nolan, whatever that guy's name, Omni-Man.
The name that starts with an N.
Yeah, whatever. Everybody will laugh at me now when they listen to this podcast. But anyhow, he's holding his own and he's taking care of it. And then Nolan winds up helping Mark at certain points, intervals throughout the fight. Then he dispatches the one guy by smashing his head in, crushing it in.
Pauses for a minute.
And pauses for a minute to see. You can see how crushed in the skull is. Which is very much like you said, it stated before, it was like very much like a panel. It's like crushed, done.
Yeah.
And then he goes to save Mark from her, and he just tears out her mouth.
No, he elbows her face. Her whole head goes into his elbow, and like
the jaw just pulls down.
He basically curb stomped her with his elbow.
Yeah, very true. Wow.
Like, that was brutal.
Yeah.
Like, it was gory and
brutal. The mouth just bleeding out, and yeah.
I mean, that's what we watch this show for. Is that some of what we watch this show for is the gore that you can't do in real life.
Yeah.
And this battle did not disappoint in that aspect. I mean, Lucian was the guy he was fighting with before this battle.
Yes.
Down in the underground part of the caves. And just like when he cuts that guy's stomach open
with his hand, he just like karate chops his stomach open,
like, but a bunch of times, like it was like a rapid fire thing.
Yeah.
And then the guts come pouring out. Oh my god, that was so cool. And then he comes back to this fight like with his guts like in his shirt, just like holding them in.
Yeah, it's like I gotta tuck those in. But before that, after that, though, after he got when Nolan wound up like ripping out his guts, he used like a stalagmite or whatever to shove it into him by his chest area. So that's why you thought he was dead. But he comes back. So you say Vucian? I called him
Lucian?
Lucan? I don't know.
Lucan, maybe that was.
Lucan. Lucan. So I called him Lucan. But whatever his name is. Lucan, whatever you want to call him. He comes back, but basically Omni-Man dispatches him just the same at the very end. And then the rest of the Viltrumites show up during that battle.
Well, so there were the two, Vidor and Thula.
Mm-hmm.
Then that battle ends. Mark passes out.
Correct.
Then Mark comes to.
But he sees Nolan being he's got a brace on him, cuffed on a cot, being taken away by the other Viltrumites.
Was Lucian also being carried off?
I think so.
So probably, I think he may have survived as well.
He may have survived, but yet we have at the very end somebody else coming to him. I have it written here. It's Clancy Brown is the voice. And Lucan or
General
Lucian?
Kree.
Okay, yeah, General Kree.
That's what he calls himself.
Yeah, he was there to tell Mark what his situation was on Earth. He's there to take, now you are invincible, or basically you're going to have to take over what your father, Omni-Man, did on Earth. And then you're going to have to prove to us that you're actually taking care of the planet because you're taking up your father's old post.
And we're going to kill your dad.
And we're going to kill your dad if you don't. It's not they're going to kill his dad.
No, they're going to kill his dad. That's done. He's like, we're killing your dad. Now you have to be him on Earth. You have to take over his job on Earth.
We don't see that. So we have till next season.
No, we don't see him killing the dad, but he says, we've arrested your father and he will be killed when he gets back to Viltron. He says they're going to kill him. They're going to kill Omni-Man.
All right. Well, I don't believe it until I see it.
Well, true. I agree. I'm just telling you Mark's information right now. His dad has been arrested and will be killed.
And what are the last words that Nolan actually says to Mark? Read my books.
Yeah.
And
right after Debbie throws them out.
Well, there's that whole scene between Debbie and Cecil because she wasn't ready to throw him out. She was actually selling his books. Supposedly, she was making money off of them.
No,
We see her throwing out the books that she has.
She's purging him out of her life.
So she's going to purge all the sales of the books too.
She's purging this, not the one like the current sales. Like, a normal person goes in and buys the book.
Mm-hmm.
All of the funds for that she no longer wants.
Interesting. But meanwhile, that was what's saving their house to putting Mark to college.
She has a job, doesn't she?
She does have a job,
yeah.
But whether or not it's paying all the bills is another story. That means that she'll have to sell the house.
She's going through, this now feels like a divorce purge more than a husband died purge, because like my mom went through, when my parents split up, my mom went through the photo albums, and any picture that was just my dad, she flat out got rid of. But it was a picture of like us with my dad. Like she would put like a Post-it note over my dad's
his face. Yeah.
So that she didn't have to look at him.
I know.
And she got rid of everything, absolutely everything. And I mean, like my divorce did the same thing. Like first I cleared everything out of my bedroom of him, so I didn't have anything in my bedroom, and then slowly went through the rest of that. It's like my kids have pictures in their room and that's fine. Yeah. But the rest of the house, there is no evidence of my ex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I get it. Like that's what she is going.
I understand it too.
Yeah.
That's within any relationship. You don't want to be reminded of it.
And she wants nothing to do with it. And that's why she doesn't want the money. She doesn't want Cecil to have power over her and her son. So that's another reason to get rid of that book money.
More about Mark than anything. That's the whole thing. She wants to care about herself and Mark. And the one person that gives her that edge is a friend of the family that comes over and knows about Debbie, Nolan, and Mark. And he basically puts that in her brain to move on, which she really needed that, because after that whole getting help through a group, and that didn't go so well last episode, she needed some positivity.
Killed all of her husband killed everybody else's spouse or partner. But yeah, I forgot about Art until he popped up. And I was like, oh, she does have a friend. Thank God.
Yeah.
And he was such a good friend. Like,
yeah, he was really good at it. Yeah. And he was giving positivity to her when she needed it. And it's not like he was superpowered himself, but he knew of her issues and she needed that help from a friend.
Yeah. Like he was like, I always thought you were the strong one to handle your life the way that you did. You've got the strength. Like you didn't have the superpower. Like Nolan had superpowers. Like it was easy for him. It wasn't difficult or complicated for him. But what you did, like running the house, raising your son, living a life with a superhero, that took strength. That was hard. You're the real hero. And like the quote of the Debbie story is, you don't need him and you never did. Like that was
showing that she had power into herself at that point. And I think it was like her just being self-aware at that point.
I think she needed to hear that though.
She did. And I think a lot of people need to hear that too. But yeah, and then of course, we do get the books at the end, like you said. Her throwing them out, left at the curb. One of which is the entitled "The Man with the Invincible Gun." It was the last book that we saw from the cover title. Invincible Gun, Invincible.
Yeah,
right there.
So. Like, so I guess Mark's got to read those books, but now he's got to find them because they're not at the house anymore.
Oh, you can still buy them online on Amazon or at the school library.
But Mom might have a problem with that.
Yeah, probably.
Understandably so.
But yeah, overall, I thought it was pretty well done. There was another scene too with Debbie, though, that I did like. It was her walking barefoot all the way from her house to the cemetery. And there was yet another song that's in there. It was a song called Blonde Shell by the band Olympus. And that was the theme of that song. And it just worked very well with her walking and just how the lyric was working with the scenery. And
thinking like a Paul McCartney socks off or shoes off funeral march, the type of thing.
Oh, from
Abbey Road.
Yeah, Abbey Road, yeah.
Paul is dead.
Yeah. But the way she's at the grave and the way she talks to the gravestone, even though Nolan wasn't even in there. Yeah. And then it goes into and segues into that conversation with a friend where he says, "You don't need that bum, you never did."
Yeah.
Meaning that she needed that reassurance too from a friend. And I thought that was really, really cool.
She was lost. She was having a real, understandably, she was having a real rough time figuring out life. Like she had to mourn her relationship. She had to feel like she had a lot going on and she had nobody to talk to. So I get like her story breaks my heart.
Yeah, well, at least it wasn't Olga coming back with another business card for her to go find help with.
Olga tried.
She did try, and she was trying to be nice and helpful with it. But yeah. But yeah, that's all I had to give for this episode. I think I covered as much as I could from what I remembered. What about you?
I think we covered absolutely everything as far as I can remember.
I only have a couple of quotes left. And the first one for me would be William regarding skipping school and being an adult in college. It's so freeing, like wearing pants with no underwear.
I had a William one too.
Good.
Remember Seance Dog? Turns out he's a talking bug from another planet. Who knew? Not this guy.
I got one from Lucian, and he says, "The next time you kill somebody, make sure they are dead." And that coming from the voice of Phil Lamar, formerly from Mad TV, and is also a prominent voice actor for animation. We would mostly know him from Green Lantern in the Justice League that had Tim Daly, and I'm forgetting the legendary Batman voice. Why? Oh, Ben will kill me. Kevin Conroy. Just remembered it. There you go. I had a brain fart. But Kevin Conroy, last time I saw Tim was at a Terrificon in Connecticut, and Kevin Conroy was there at the panel, and it had the whole entire Justice League. Well, not entirely. We didn't have Flash there. We didn't have Michael Rosenbaum as the voice actor, but it was cool to have Phil Lamar. I'm hoping to hear more from him, not just, in Invincible, but more for Justice League and stuff like that, because they're going to be doing more and more of those animated stuff on WB or HBO Max or Max. Sorry, it's just Max on the app. So there are more animated movies coming out. I didn't ask Tim, Mr. Daly himself, if he was going to be doing more, but it would be great to hear him as the voice of Superman again. But we got Phil Lamar in this particular episode, which I'm glad we got. But yeah, I just want to throw that in there too, because it was another voice actor, just like, well, we got himself when we got the Kurgan.
Optimus Prime.
No, that was last episode.
Last episode, yeah.
Last episode, Optimus Prime. To this episode, we got the Kurgan, Clancy Brown.
Mark, back to the quotes.
Yeah.
From Mark, fuck you. I mean, just fuck you.
Awesome.
I think that's all I have. Oh, the threat from General Kree. We do not change our minds.
Well, it is Viltrum. They will not change their minds on their destruction and taking over. So They are very much a stubborn planet. But as we could tell, both within Mark and Nolan, they are a stubborn people. And Nolan being a pureblood and Mark being half. So a lot of it was for
but Nolan
Nolan.
Did change his mind twice.
Yes, twice. So it means that there's something in there from the human side that influenced him. Otherwise, why did he spend all those years in disguise doing all these superhuman things and not doing what he was stationed there to originally do?
Right.
Why did he chose at that one point just to go crazy and apeshit and destroy the original Guardians of the Globe? There's got to be some sort of backstory. And I would love for them to actually write that in.
Yeah.
Of what snapped in his head to make that happen. There had to been a communication from Viltrum. And I'm curious to see when that will come into place. I'm hoping it comes out and this season of the remaining part of it. But with that, I think that's everything that we had.
Yep.
But we did get some feedback.
Yay!
And afterwards, we will tell you how to send in your feedback. And that is very, very simple. This is from Steve Brown.
Yay, Steve.
Hey, Mark and Janie, it's Steve, and this is for Invincible Season 2, Episode 4. It's been a while. I wasn't going to do a live Steve, and I may still not actually do an actual live Steve of it, but I was just watching the beginning of the episode, and when Omni-Man is flying away, and his beard, gets longer. Can he control his beard? Because wouldn't, razors not be able to cut it? I don't know. It's been a while. It was in the previously on, and it's also right now. Title of the episode, mic drop. I'm sure you talked about this in the last episode, or I haven't listened to it yet, but in the last episode, they did mention that a Viltrumite has never abandoned his post, and a Viltrumite has also never mated with a planet that they were on. So that's interesting. Oh, the tongue kissing an alien. Ew. And he did it again. He mated with an alien species and had a child. Oh, I think Donald's about to find out that he's a clone. I guess they are allowed to mate with similar species. The most inconvenient timing ever award goes to the Viltrumites, who of course they're going to show up on Thraxis right now. And now this guy is trying to steal from the old Guardians of the Galaxy headquarters. Of course, they're not safe here either. Of course, Eve is constantly discovering the dark side of this being a hero when you make a mistake. Oh, Nolan's not wrong in what he's talking to Mark about fighting this Viltrumite woman, that she is trying to kill him, so he needs to be better. Have her with her own braid, Mark. So Nolan got her with his elbow. So the secret is in the books, and we just saw a title of one of the books is The Man with the Invincible Gun. Okay, but he's still got to find a way back to Earth, right? I mean, I guess there might be some Thraxis still alive on this planet, but man, this is going to be tough for Mark. Knows how long we have to wait for the second half. Talk to you later. Oh, the Mauler clone killed the King Mauler.
Yay, Steve. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
I'm not going to do a live Steving. Here's a live Steving.
But yeah, there's a lot of speculation online too. Oh, what's going to happen with Mark because of what had happened within this episode, how dark Mark had gone at the very end. Because he was shown that some of his Viltrumite thing, his tendencies.
And we know in another universe, he does go dark.
Correct. So that I think people brought that up too. There's been several posts. I really haven't looked. I only looked at the headline. So right away, it's the first thing.
I didn't look at all. I didn't want to color my opinion of anything.
Yeah, same here. And I just looked at the headlines and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, all right, well, I could see where they're coming from with that, with just that title alone. So, it's the alternate realm where Mark and his father ruled over Earth and took over. Whereas in this one, they both, even Nolan has a second opinion and thought. Now, mind you, think about it. Steve was saying how Guardians of the Galaxy. I made the mistake saying Nathan instead of Nolan.
Yeah,
Well, he
I
said
always want to say
Guardians.
Guardians of the Galaxy instead of Guardians of the Globe. It's so
I always
hard.
remember Guardians of the Globe, which is so funny, but I can't do that with Nolan.
I'm always like, okay, Guardians of the. I'm like, it's not Galaxy. Galaxy is wrong. That's Groot. Globe. That's it. Globe.
Globe. But yeah. So yeah, that's Steve's feedback for us. I didn't put anything in there recently, unfortunately, with the holidays and everything. I wasn't able to get one out. I was just luckily barely ready enough to put out the new episode, which is the previous episode of this, which was part 3. Episode 3 for Invincible. So you got that out there for YouTube as well as all the podcast player of choice apps that are out there. But we will be putting out there when we come back full time, when we do it weekly, definitely weekly. We'll be doing What If in December. So when that comes out, we will be covering that. I'm forgetting the actual date, but I will apprise you when it comes. I keep forgetting to putting that stuff on my calendar, but there's so much going on. Everything's coming up fast, and it is the holidays. So at least we'll have one particular show that we'll be covering here. I'll be covering one other particular show on Podcast Wilhelm. So that's Monarch. Just to throw that out there quickly. But and then obviously with Adrenaline Cinema Podcast, I'll be doing like I stated before, it'll probably be like 1 or 2 movies per month. So I've yet to put one out for the ending of November. I think I put one out in like the middle, which was Total Recall. But you're definitely going to get most likely 2 episodes in December because it's going to get colder and a lot of people need something to do. So
Watch movies.
Watch
movies. It's cold and dark.
It's cold and dark. Got to watch something that makes you happy. But we do intend on getting out to Friday the 13th, the final chapter with Jayme and myself. I'm still looking to do the collaboration with Aim for the Head when we do Night of the Comet. I definitely want to do Godzilla -1 review on that particular movie as well for Adrenaline. So there might be one that's really quick, which would probably be Godzilla -1, considering this Thursday I'll be going to see it with Rob and Adam Gonzalez. So, but like I stated, I will be posting things for feedback. And with that, we're going to talk about feedback right now. So I already mentioned it. I will be posting things which would be found on our Facebook page, which would be facebook.com/panels to pixels. It's also mimicked with what's also on Instagram because they're both meta. So whatever I post on one will be posted on the other. So what I like to do is give the information of what we're covering that week. There'll be an image. And I'll say, leave your comments below. So check those out. All you have to do is go to facebook.com/panels to pixels. Follow us, ring the bell, or do whatever to get more alerted. Because sometimes people turn off their alerts. I noticed that. Or you go to Instagram as well, at Panels to Pixels Podcast. We could also be heard on YouTube, as I mentioned. But all you have to do is search for Panels to Pixels Podcast. Keep that in mind, Panels to Pixels Podcast. Josh has the regular Panels to Pixels. That is completely different. Just search for Panels to Pixels Podcast. Subscribe. Ring the bell to be alerted with anything new that's coming up. And if you really do enjoy what we do and content-wise, please give us a thumbs up on any particular episode that you liked. And you could also make comments in there as well, which we will read out. So if you like something on a previous episode, make a comment. We'll talk about it on the next podcast. It's always guaranteed. I usually get alerted for that, so that's why I check my email all the time when it comes to Panels to Pixels. And speaking of, you can email us at panelstopixels1@gmail.com. That's panels, 2 is spelled TO, the number pixels, and then number 1@gmail.com. Just write yourself out a full regular standard email. We'll read it. Read your name or your location if you want, and read the email and talk and discuss about what your email had in it. If you don't feel like just sending out a regular email, you have these cool, nifty devices out there that you could record yourself. Everybody does it nowadays. Everybody's doing Zoom. How do you think we're recording this particular episode? On Zoom.
Yay,
So,
Zoom.
yeah, yay, Zoom. So you could easily record yourself. A lot of Apple devices have stuff that right there where you can just send it straight out and just record snippets. And then just like what Steve does with live Steving, just record your voice and your thoughts, and then we'll play it on the next episode. You'll be part of the podcast. And then we could actually respond to your voicemail like we did with Steve. So, but yeah, that's something that's way to get us feedback. But we would love some feedback, but also we would love for you people to rate and review us, because we could be found on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, or whatever podcast player of choice that you use. Mostly a lot of people do their reviews or ratings in Apple Podcasts, which is notably one of the biggest. And that's the reason why they're called podcasts, because they were made originally through Apple. So if you could give us a 5-star rating, it'd be greatly appreciated. If you could kind of, write out your thoughts too, because they're very prominent and people see those right in the front. Same thing with Spotify as well. But I always tell everybody, I'm not saying please just put in a 5-star rating. No. Just be honest. If you like it to some degree, it's a 3 or 4. I understand. Everybody is subjected to criticism, and I understand that more than anybody. But please give us a review. That's all that's needed. And we will greatly appreciate it, no matter what it is. But other than that, we're at the moment in the podcast where can listeners hear us? So, Jayme, obviously, you've been on several others. You and I have covered another podcast, which might come back next year.
So right now, the only thing currently officially in the works is doing Friday the 13th, the final chapter with you.
And as well as doing ET with Damien on Watched in the 80s at some point in time. But
we'll
also,
see when we can get our schedules to line up for that one.
Yeah, but also you could be heard on Podcast Go when we covered Sandman cast for Sandman on Netflix.
Season 2 started filming today.
Yes.
Well, resumed filming today after the
resumed filming today, meaning that by, I would say, midway through 2024, I wouldn't be surprised that we get it. Because they're putting a rush into it.
I just rewatched season 1.
So I'm hoping for that to happen. Mr. Gaiman will probably still be busy with his music as well as teaching. And he's doing, what did I post to your page about Christmas? He was doing some sort of reading in Manhattan.
And I'm going.
Oh, okay. That's
my birthday. I forget. That's my birthday gift from Tony.
Awesome. So you must have saw it and said, I need to get that.
Yeah. He's like, all right, I was going to try and surprise you with this, but I can't. So he was, hold on, let me.
It was too evident when I posted it. And he must have been like, oh, crap.
I think that's how he saw it. But he, I'm like, you took me to Atlanta without me knowing, but
yeah.
He will be presenting a reimagining of A Christmas Carol at Town Hall in New York City.
Awesome.
On December 18th and 19th.
Cool.
Tickets are available at thetownhall.org if you would like to meet up.
Yeah, it's very small venue too, by the way. So I'm glad that he got tickets, because sometimes those go fast. But yeah. So you could hear Jayme at all those. Like I said, we'll probably be back with on Podcast Go with Sandman Cast when that comes back. So look forward to hearing that. Obviously, more of Jayme on Adrenaline Cinema when we do Friday the 13th, the final chapter, and anything else that she's available to talk about what she likes when we do stuff here on Panels to Pixels. You could also hear me, not just here on Panels to Pixels podcast. As always, we'll be covering or finishing up the Gen V. It was a lot of scheduling contrasts. Rob was like, I asked him for tomorrow night, and he's like, dude, we're recording my podcast. I'm like, oh, darn. I forgot. And then we're seeing Godzilla. Okay. I was like, but he was trying to see if I could do it with somebody else for Gen V for the last 2 episodes. Not many people are interested in doing it because me and Rob have been doing it currently. So we're going to try to wrap that up by the end of this weekend and get that out to you. So at least, we could wrap up Gen V. It's been about 3 weeks since it ended. So, but I'm pretty sure I'm sure there are a lot of people that have watched it and just haven't listened or to anybody else, or if they have watched it, they want to hear our take on it. So look forward to hearing that when we do get to it. Look forward to us doing What If when that comes out. We'll be continuing our coverage with that for that particular show. I'm looking forward to the new season because I really enjoyed the last one. I loved What If. Yeah, there's going to be cool new pops out there. There's going to be cool new action figures too, probably for it because all the weird stuff that they do. And then also, on top of that, since we're talking about What If, Podcast Go will be covering that as well. So I believe Jason will probably be putting that on House Podcast Go. So you could always check them out too when they cover the What If series from Disney Plus. You could also hear me. I already mentioned it. Adrenaline Cinema Podcast. Obviously, I have a lot in the works. We're final Friday the 13th final chapter with Jayme. With Aim for the Head with Diana and her partner. We'll be covering Night of the Comet and definitely Godzilla -1 with either Rob, Adam, and myself, or just me and Rob, depending, or maybe even Frank, depending on who wants to cover it. So we'll look forward to getting that out to you as soon as we can. You could also hear me on Fantasy Picks Movie Edition, which I kind of mentioned because that's Rob's podcast on Powercore Entertainment Network, which this particular episode and podcast is affiliated with. So, we're doing a Fantasy Picks final I can't even speak tonight, huh? Fantasy Picks Movie Edition. We're covering the next episode I will be on is our top 5 Marvel films. So obviously it's right up my alley when it comes to that. Very similar to what we do at Wilhelm. What Ben does at Wilhelm, I shouldn't say we. Ben does at Wilhelm. And but it's done in a little bit different fashion. It's more of like a football league. So if somebody picks out a movie, you can't take that movie. It has to be a completely different movie altogether within your top 5 league. So that way it could compete. And it's the battle to the death, depending on if people send in feedback and say, I really like Mark's pick, or I like, Rob's top 5. So, send in feedback that way too, if you do listen to them or us there. You could also hear me on, obviously on podcast / Wilhelm, the combined podcast with Ben Beck and myself covering Monarch, which is Monarch, the Legacy of Beasts. And we're having fun with that. We just put out episode 3. Episode 4 will be coming up this weekend. Check that out and then send feedback that way. You could follow that on facebook.com/Wilhelm or facebook.com/Podcastica. So you'll see images and you can send in feedback that way, or wilhelm@gmail.com. And that's about it for us plugging ourselves and being a plug fest. So. With that, that is our coverage for Invincible. And we look forward to the remaining part of this particular season come next year. So with that, I am Mark.
And I'm Jayme.
And this was Panels to Pixels podcast. Different panel, different pixel, same podcast. And we'll see you on the next panel. Good night.
Good night.